Welcome back to Night Shifter Sports. We are here for the 10 through 1 redraft, wide receiver. It has been a week since we recorded the 20 through 11, so there is a couple things we got to talk about right off the bat. Rodgers signing
with the Steelers.
Yep. So that's in the last episode, right? It pretty much happened the day after we recorded that. So
I don't know if that's a pro or a con for DK Metcalf.
I mean, with their quarterback situation, it's probably a pro.
Well, right. I mean, I would think
so. But so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think DK is probably in the top 20 now. We didn't have him
with
there.
Rodgers being the quarterback there.
I think so.
Yep.
I think you have to.
Yep.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting. But
I also saw that Trey Hendrickson, the defensive end for the Bengals, is now in talks again. With the Bengals, obviously, about
he probably should be, right?
Well, he was resuming talks again, obviously. Who knows what that means? He's obviously going to want the bag.
Yeah.
They just paid up pretty big for Jamar and T.
Yeah.
Raiders said that Ashton Jency is a coachable player. So that's a good sign for the Raiders.
Yeah. He's going to be number one back this year.
Yeah, that's what they say, not even close. Crazy news coming out of Miami. Antonio Brown is looking like he might be going to get a prison sentence. If convicted, obviously we live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty. Attempted murder on that poor man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. He's still tweeting.
Yep, as long as he's still firing on Twitter, he's good.
Yeah,
you know,
so that's all we ask. I mean, hopefully, if he does get put away, he can at least still post an X.
Yep.
So, so I guess we're gonna kick it off here. So there's new ESPN rankings. So I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if they've changed it all. Just kind of looking over here. So, at third 10, they had Drake London. I can't remember exactly where they had him.
I had him at the 10.
You got him at 10.
Yeah, you had him at the.
I had him at 12.
Okay, is that where you put him? Okay, I knew it was like 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah.
So my reasoning for Drake London, obviously being at the 10, is with Kirk Cousins playing and slinging the rock. He was at a 31% target share, but for the weeks that Michael Penix hopped in, he was at a 41% target share.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want to see. That's a one kind of guy. I don't know how it's not in my aspect. I think Michael Penix is going to prove to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I think Penix played better, and I think everybody kind of thought he was going to play.
Right.
And he did favor London. I know I've seen reports that they want to get Mooney more involved, which I think
Mooney's a solid receiver.
Mooney's good. I mean, they got a good team.
They got a good team for sure.
I mean, they have a really good running back, two pretty damn good receivers, right? And then
they got an unproven. Every year I hear it, Kyle Pitts is going to be the guy. Far from the guy, okay? He's far from the guy.
Yeah, so, no, like I said, I had him at 12. You got him at 10. I mean, he's going to be in there, I think. I mean, he's probably going to be the 8 to 12.
Yeah. And you're very content with him being your one on your team.
Played every game. So
that's all you want to ask for out of your number one receiver on your team, Yeah. But I'm going to take London at that 10 pick. Who you got sitting there?
I got A.J. Brown.
Okay. Yep.
He played good. I mean, he's good, right?
He's good for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I think.
I mean, he commanded 50% of his team's targets.
Missed 4 games.
Right.
Missed 4 games last year. I mean, I think you say at a 10, right? You're drafting him probably as your number one. I mean, the only reason I have him that far down is because you're just kind of like. Yeah, you won't want. I mean, if he played every game last year, you're probably looking at him maybe.
I mean, he had 1,282 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yeah. I mean, that's a dominant year for that kind of guy.
Yeah, 16.7 fantasy points.
He finished first in air yards in the NFL with 51%.
Yeah,
so that's a good sign for A.J. Brown.
So I think he's good. I think there's obviously, like I said, there's a couple guys on the list.
I mean, you got to watch out for that hamstring, though. That's what got him in the practice. Wasn't even game, but that's how it goes.
So I think I got him at 10. I mean, again, nothing crazy there. I think he probably should be around to that area.
Yep.
But so 9 ESPN has A.J. Brown, and you have you're gonna say something.
Brian Thomas Jr., baby.
So that's not.
I'm liking the Brian Thomas Jr. spot. Obviously, he's a sawed-off one for the team. He's a big hater on Trevor Lawrence.
I am. I am not going to argue that one bit. I think Trevor Lawrence has to play good this year.
But he did go out at week 13 with a concussion, and then that point, they knew they weren't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then they just like, let's go put you through the shoulder surgery, see if he can get healthy, get back to where he was sitting.
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. is averaging 18.5 points per game, fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy with that.
He was 4th last year in points, overall points in fantasy.
4th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, that's nice.
Again, playing every game, whatever. So so I think
he's a good.
I think he's good. I mean, he averaged 16.7 points a game. I think that's on just receiver points. So
right, and they drafted a guy.
Yeah, called Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
I don't see him taking too much away. I really don't.
I don't know.
I mean, I think Travis Hunter is going to be.
He's looking more dominant in the defensive side of the game.
Which, and that's the thing is, right? It's whatever he's better at, he's going to play more snaps at. I mean, I think they hope to play more as a receiver because they kind of need that.
Right, and this is the proven year for Lawrence, though.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think they're just going to give Lawrence everything they can give him and hope that he produces. If he doesn't produce, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is looking for another contracted
but
agent.
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. I think he's a solid. I think he can be a number one.
I think so, and I don't think the threat of Travis Hunter should scare you in the aspect of like, oh, he's going to take all of it. It's just not realistic.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to see people be so determined to shut down Travis that I think
that's going to leave that open door for Brian Thomas to run those streakers.
I think a lot of people are just going to be just determined to shut down Travis Hunter. I think it's going to
put a statement on it real quick.
Could benefit Thomas.
Who do you got at the 9?
So at the 9, I got Tyreek Hill, which you had at your 16.
Dude.
Right? You're 16, right? $1.
I don't understand how you got him at the 9. I mean,
dude, dude, let's
hear your argument.
He didn't have a terrible year last year,
right?
Like, I mean, he was still played okay, and
he just had wrist surgery.
And Tua was non-existent, dude. Like, I think he's a top 10 receiver easily.
You think he's gonna be back to the Tyreek he was?
I'm just saying, if you can draft Tyreek Hill,
so let me get this straight.
Tyreek Hill in like the late 2nd, early 3rd round. How do you not do it? I mean,
Jesus, you're asking.
But I'm just saying,
2nd, 3rd round, yeah.
But he's the 9 receiver, so right. So 9. So you have him. But
if I'm sitting on the board and it's Tyreek, Mike Evans, I'm taking Mike Evans. And
There's no way.
Yeah, of course, dude. Way. You got Tua Tugga, by the way, and you got Baker Laser Mayfield. I
get that. I get that, but I just
point proven.
I don't think there's any point proven.
Tyreek at the 9. I mean, okay. Well,
Tyreek Hill, I don't know. I think I said he didn't play great last year, but I mean, the whole team didn't play great. Like, 8-Chain looked average, and he looked unbelievable.
Yeah, but I don't think the Dolphins are going to look good regardless. I don't see how they are.
I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play fine. If Tua plays all the games, I think they're going to be fine.
Okay.
I think Tua's going to be back. He's going to hopefully not die again on the field, and we're going to be fine. But I don't know. Again, if the Hill, you're talking the number 9 receiver, you're probably talking mid to late 2nd round. I don't know how you don't take Hill if he's in the 2nd or early 3rd. Like,
all right, yeah. I mean,
there's no way he's falling to you where you got him at the 16.
I mean, if I'm sitting in the 4th, 5th round, you know what I mean.
There's no way.
I got both my running backs off the board, and I got my number 1 receiver. Yeah, then I'd consider Tyreek at that spot. But you're okay if you got him at the 9. That is what it is. But
it doesn't. No.
We'll see how that works out for you this year. I'll leave him up to you.
I don't have to worry about you drafting him. So.
No, I'm staying far away from him.
So 8, they have Brian Thomas Jr.
I got AJ Brown.
Okay, yeah.
So obviously the Eagles are coming off a high winning that Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Yep. Everybody doesn't think they're going to repeat the way they played last year, obviously bringing Saquon in and having him rush for
Saquon, right? If Saquon can repeat, because I don't know if
right.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is good, but I don't know if Jalen Hurts, like, if Saquon comes out and only rushes for 2/3 of what he did last year, right. I don't know if they.
And I also do see. I mean, AJ Brown's guaranteed over 1,000 yards in my eyes. So you're almost getting a guaranteed consistent 1,000-yard season from AJ Brown.
He just needs to play every game for fantasy purposes.
Well, right.
If he can play every game for fantasy purposes, no problem.
But he was only missed 3.5 weeks with that hamstring, but it was like a non-contact related injury, But
yeah.
I don't know. He was second in target share at 30% throughout the NFL, so I was pretty happy with seeing those type of numbers like that.
Yeah. I think he's a solid pickup. Like I said, if he stays healthy, I mean, I think he's could easily be a top 5.
And I don't, the worries of Devontae Smith is going to be that guy as well. Obviously, he's a great receiver. He's the 2 on that team. I would think he doesn't hurt him.
Yeah, Devontae Smith is a weird receiver because I thought he
was supposed to come out huge.
I thought he did worse last year than he did, and he actually had a fairly good season.
Right.
Besides, he got hurt
because
also.
it's all those streaky, those highs and lows, and that's what you're going to get out of that.
I didn't
4th,
realize,
5th round kind of guy.
I mean, he had 833 yards. Smith did.
Wow.
833 yards, averaged 15 points a game when he was playing. He missed,
there you go.
He missed 4 games also. So it's hard to believe they got 2 guys that average.
But if AJ Brown or if Devontae Smith goes down, AJ Brown's obviously going to be probably even more dominant.
Yeah,
unless they start doubling. But I'm going to take AJ Brown at the 8. I don't know who you got at the 8.
I got Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, well that's fine as long as it's not the same as your 9. We're good to go on that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, we talked about it. I think he's going to play good. He was 4th last year in points, overall points.
Rookie.
Yeah,
was
young. Yeah, he's young. I think he's. I just don't see Hunter taking away from him as much as I think maybe some people think he's going to.
No,
I don't know if people really think he is, but
we're due to see something out of the Jags this year, and if we don't see it, then we're not ever going to see it. In my eyes,
they're going to have to change something if they don't see it.
And I can't wait for the chirp that's going to go on between you and one of our competitors in our league. Big Jags fan, that other guy, but. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I like the Brian Thomas Jr. at that spot. I'm content with him. So 8, 9, 10,
7. They have Collins at 7.
Nico
at 7.
Yeah, I got Puka Nacua. So
Puka at 7.
So here's my issue. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the 11 games.
He's just
last year was an issue.
He's just an injury prone guy. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's the big leagues. Yeah. You got the big boy. It's contact, it's physical, it's whatnot. But the guy's getting injured before he even touches the damn field.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that even is possible.
Yeah, I don't know how you can. It sucks because you have to almost draft him as your number 1 receiver because that's when he's going to go off the board.
And obviously he's dominant. The games he's playing, I mean, he's the highest in the NFL in targets per route run at 36%. He's dominant. I mean, he had 990 yards last season and 3 touchdowns. Granted, the 3 touchdowns are just,
I do think Adams is going to take a little bit more away from him than Kupp did last year. Could be wrong. But I do think Adams is going to take a little more away than Kupp.
If Adams goes out, obviously Stafford is targeting Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is his guy. I like that.
If Puka's
twosome they got going on there between those guys.
If Adams gets hurt, Puka's a 20-point easy
monster
guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but yeah, obviously you guys is skeptical, but still dominant as a receiver. So at the 7, I'm feeling comfortable enough that I would walk away with Puka as my number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean, you're talking at 7. I mean, you're talking. You might not even. You probably it's the end of 1st round, early 2nd.
Yeah,
I mean, hopefully
on the comeback through.
Hopefully, at that point, you'd almost have to back. I would almost back him up with another receiver just because of the injuries.
Right.
I wouldn't draft running back or Puka, then a running back, and then the 3rd round you're drafting.
It's crazy, but I would honestly.
The good news for you is you're going to get Hill in the 4th.
All day long. I mean, it's going to probably be a Puka Hill on the bench package. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So at 7, I got Nico. And the only reason they got Nico at 7. He should be higher, but CJ Stroud didn't play. CJ Stroud played good last year. He didn't play like CJ Stroud his rookie season. And
he finished 6th as the wide receiver for points in the NFL at 14.6 points per game.
Yeah. And he only played 12 games.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're like, oh, he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. But
yeah, it's such a double-edged sword, right? Because
he had 1,006 yards and he had 7 touchdowns, and the guy is an unguardable machine.
Right, he's good.
He's a beast.
Yeah, no, and he 7 touchdowns.
He stays healthy, and I think Stroud is obviously everybody he didn't.
I hope he bounces back a little.
And I think he will. I don't see. It's hard to repeat that, and it's going to be the same question for Jaden Daniels. How is he going to repeat that? So. Yeah. Like I said, I think he's going to come back up to, a very competitive, high-level play.
Yep.
And I think Nico is going to be that guy where I have him in a dynasty league. And, if Nico didn't get hurt, injuries. I was walking the park. I mean, it was all she wrote for the season. Yeah. But I like Nico at the 7. You got him at the 7. I have Nico at the 6, obviously.
Okay. 6. They got Neighbors at the 6.
They have Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had target rate 30% went up to 2. It went up 2% from last year. Obviously, granted, he missed how many games again?
He missed 5.
So he missed 5 games. So it went up 2% and missing 5 games. So I like that with his targets. Obviously, Stroud didn't compete to what they think he was going to compete to.
Yeah.
I think Tank Dell going down is going to be a benefit to him. But I know they did just draft that rookie. I can't think of his name right now, but they just did draft a rookie there. So they say he's going to be a dog. But like I said, Nico Collins is a good pick at that spot.
And there's already chemistry there between Stroud
and Stroud, right?
Yeah. So I think Nico kind of it's almost the same.
And the Texans just signed running back
Chubb.
I'm a big fan of Chubb. So obviously that doesn't really hurt Nico in any aspect like that, but it might in the threat that Chubb, if he, Chubb and Mixon are about the same in my eyes, but
Chubb's more of a. I feel like who knows how they're going to use Chubb, but if I'm, I would assume it's going to be more short yardage.
Yeah, slammer
first down. Yep. 2 yards on the 2 yards from the goal. Just kind of that kind of stuff. So it's. So
who do you got at your 6?
I got Puka. Kind of the same
Puka.
thing, right? So
you're on the. Yep.
It's just like if he plays all 17 games, I think he could.
He'd fit top 3 all day
easily.
Long. Yep.
But you just how do you
with the risk? I think the risk reward. I think the risk is worth it for the reward.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I think
I just don't think you can draft Puka early first round,
right,
and then wait to the end of the second round, and you're going to put yourself in a. Again, it could be a great situation if Puka plays, but if Puka misses 6 games again,
right, then you're going to be very frustrated with how your season went.
Now you're playing your bench receiver that you waited to the 7th round to pick because you wanted running backs, you wanted a good tight end, and you wanted.
Well, waiting to the 7th round, you're probably getting Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm
saying? You're so dumb, So that's kind of So I have him at the 6.
All right, who do you got at the 5?
I got Neighbors at the 5. They got Neighbors. They got St. Brown at the 5, but I got Neighbors at the 5. I think so. He missed 2 games. He played unbelievable. You had him last year. He played
it's a monster.
He played good. I don't know how you still finished 9th with him, but
he had 1,200 receiving yards. He had 7 touchdowns, and he also had Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So he had Daniel Jones, and I think Russell's. Assuming they're going to start Russell, right? That's what it sounds like.
You don't think they're going to start Jackson Dart?
They could.
Mr. Dart, you know what I'm saying?
They could. I don't know. I think, right, I would assume the whole part of bringing Russell in and then drafting a young quarterback would be him to sit on the bench for a year, learn from Russell.
So here's the deal. Let's take this out of they took Russell, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to use Russell as a kind of guy to teach Dart.
Yeah.
So when Justin Fields goes out this year and throws for 4,500 yards,
I don't think it's going to happen. I know it's not going to happen.
The following year,
it's not going to.
Dart's just going to be an absolute phenomenal monster. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. No, I don't think Fields is throwing for any more than 3,000 yards.
I do think Russell's an upgrade for Malik Neighbors, though.
I think so. Russell's good. He hasn't had
he broke
bad years.
He broke Puka Nakua's reception record at 32%.
Yep.
Target share, obviously. Yep. But he averaged 20.3 fantasy points per game. Yep. The guy's a monster.
Yeah. So,
and he's only, 23?
Yeah.
Which obviously doesn't really matter in redraft standards, but he's a dog.
He missed 2
games.
Only
go up from there.
Again, I think he's solid.
He's over 1,000 receiving yards every day, all day long.
So, who do you have at your 5?
I'm in Ross St. Brown. 1,263 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns. The guy is a red zone monster at 25.4% target share in the red zone. Yeah. He finished 3rd in total games, points scored per game.
Yeah, 2nd most receptions on the year.
Yeah, he's a monster. Obviously, he averaged 11.8 fantasy points per game, but Amon-Ra's a dog. I like him at the 5. Obviously, those guys up in front of him, I would obviously rather take before him. But
St. Brown at the 5, it's not bad.
And obviously everybody's like, "Oh, Ben Johnson's leaving," but To me, it looks like Ben Johnson was more of a focus of the running back.
Yeah, I think Ben Johnson leaving, I think, could hurt it's going to be hard to say, right? I think it might hurt the backs more than it hurts the receivers. But, they have a good team, right?
Yeah, they got a really good team.
Their center obviously isn't there anymore. That's going to kind of suck for them. But they have a good team. I think, I think St. Brown, I got him obviously a little higher on my list than you or lower, however you want to look at it. But
Goff is a good quarterback. He can sling it.
Goff's been playing good. I don't know if Goff, as long as Goff's on. It's like he's like Darnold last year. He's like Geno last year. He's like Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
People are gonna hate me for saying that.
I like Dak,
but I do too. No, what I'm just saying, they're quarterbacks that when they're on, they throw for 350 yards,
right?
And they feed the receivers all day. And when they're off, they throw for 6 interceptions.
And then they just hand the ball off left and right to David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs.
And you wonder why they even are in the NFL.
Yeah.
But it's just how it goes.
Yep.
So no, I think St. Brown. I love St. Brown. I've had him 2 of the 3 years we've played redraft, and I love him. So I don't hate him at the 5. I would draft him before probably a couple of the guys you had before him. But
who do you got at the 4?
at the 4 they have Puka. At the 4, I have Jefferson, and I don't know how anybody can argue with me on this. I know everybody seems like everybody's got him at the 2. Everybody's got him at the 2. Everybody's got the 2. I don't understand.
I guess it's not that bad.
How Jefferson. I just don't get it. Darnold threw for 4,300 yards. There is not a chance in that it doesn't happen. There's no way JJ McCarthy is going to throw for more than 3,000.
Oh, come on, dude. You're just capping the guy.
It's
3,000.
It's not going to happen. Maybe 3. Maybe. But
it's
not
3.
I'm just saying. And Addison looked good last year.
Yeah, he did look good.
Looked good. But
it's Jefferson.
The guy's got to hit him. He's got to hit him. I'm not saying Jefferson can't get open. Maybe McCarthy's going to play good. I know the preseason.
Well, Jefferson's going to get all the contested catches.
The preseason game. Well, the problem is the contested catches have to be thrown to him.
So you got Jefferson at the 4 because of McCarthy.
Because I just don't think there's going to be as much workload to go around. I think productivity is going to be down in the passing game. And I think maybe McCarthy might be decent, but I just don't.
He had 1,533 yards.
I just don't.
10 touchdowns. The guy is a proven.
Well, no, I'm not arguing that. But I just do not see them being a pass-heavy offense again this year.
So they're just going to run it with Aaron Jones, left and right. 3,100 years old, Aaron Jones. Yeah.
Did you swear?
Maybe.
I know. I don't know. I think.
You swear.
I'm going to be right. I'm going to be right. I'm going to be right. I think
they average 21.7 fantasy points per game. And I obviously, it's a struggle for you.
It's not going to happen.
It's a struggle for you, obviously, because you don't finish that high in the pack when we do fantasy football.
Think I never lost to you. So I don't even know what that means. No, I'm just saying. I don't think you're
gonna sweat it on the clock, and you're gonna take Tyreek at the 4, and I'm gonna lose it.
I just don't see how you can take Jefferson before a couple the guys I had before him. I just don't see how you can do it. I really don't.
Well,
who do you got at the 4?
I got Malik Neighbors, obviously, at the 4.
Yeah,
obviously we want to work around on Malik Neighbors. Having Russell Wilson, I think, will only make him better.
Neighbors before St. Brown's kind of wild to me, but I have him close. But
I like the idea of Russell in the mix. Yeah. I think it's better than Daniel Jones. But yeah, like I said, I got
Daniel Jones played decent.
He was a rookie last year, so I think he's going to just continue to step up and be that guy. So
yeah,
Neighbors at the 4. Who do you got at the 3?
So they have CD at the 3. I have St. Brown at the 3, which it's kind of
right.
It's it's kind of a toss up there. I would take. I think,
and you're going St. Brown because of Goff.
I would take St. Brown.
You say Goff.
If
he's off,
Goff is off. If Goff is off, it's not good.
So then you sit with Jefferson.
But I'm just saying because who knows how many times McCarthy is going to be on, dude. It's just we
haven't seen him sling the rock.
Exactly.
Okay, but here's the deal.
How about
you haven't seen Jaden Daniels sling the rock, but he could sling it like a gunslinger.
Yeah.
So
I get it, but who drafted Terry? God, who drafted Terry first? God,
I guess you drafted Terry. I get it.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Like, I draft Terry because I like Terry, right? But
You didn't draft him because of the quarterback.
I didn't expect Daniel.
So
to
you're
play
not drafting Jefferson because you don't like Jefferson, but you're gonna take
I'm
Amon
just
Ra.
saying, I think I took Terry probably last year, probably a round before I should have, but it worked out
Okay.
but I think now, I think there's no way in the world. I don't think Jefferson finishes in the top 3 in fantasy points, even if he plays every game.
Okay.
Which he has done
All right.
multiple times.
Well, that's so, and then
So St. Brown, yeah. So St. Brown, I think St. Brown is. I think it's just the teams. Besides coaching,
I mean, obviously he led the NFL in red zone receptions.
Yeah,
so obviously he's a dog.
I think they're an aggressive team. Like, right, it doesn't matter how many 4th downs they don't convert on because they're still throwing the ball. They're still doing this.
Right.
Like, they're a high output offense,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not scared to score points. And if they're up by 20, they still try to score points. And
Yeah.
I just think if, especially if McCarthy has any, like with the whole Jefferson argument.
Well, I got Jefferson at 3.
If Jefferson has any, or if McCarthy has any like interception problems or anything, this or that, obviously they have Daniel Jones they could bring in. I believe he's the backup. But I think you're going to see them if they get up by like 2 scores. I think you're going to see them just be like, okay, we're going to try to focus on clock management and this and that, run the ball a bunch of slants, just curl routes, whatever. I don't see Jefferson getting 103 catches. 103
your argument's dog. So this
we're gonna go broke.
I don't care. No, seriously, it's just dog because your aspect of if they're up by a lot, they're gonna run the ball.
Well, they're not gonna be up by a lot, probably.
But you're saying if they're up by a lot, they're gonna run the ball. You're gonna be out to lunch. They're running it with Aaron Jones. I get that, but you're not saying when they're up by 2 touchdowns, they're not gonna run it with David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. Like
St. Brown.
Yeah.
No,
Lion.
I get that, but they score. Like, it doesn't matter. They just keep pushing. I don't know. I just think St. Brown is going to play better than Jefferson.
Okay, and obviously I got Jefferson at the 3.
Yeah, which again I don't think is bad. I just don't think it's right.
I mean, he finished first overall in end zone targets.
Well, that's great, but he's got a different quarterback.
Yeah, okay. Darnold had a fluke. I get it. Darnold had a fluke.
He had an entire season.
There was a fluke. Yeah. I mean, the guy obviously is decent, but he's got a different quarterback, obviously. But
yeah,
we'll see how it is. I'm not liking the J.J. McCarthy slinging it. Obviously, they drafted him, so they're hoping he was. They were hoping he was going to be the slinger last year.
I don't think you're picking Jefferson at pick 5.
All right.
I just don't think you're doing it.
All right. Well, I got him at the 3. Who do you got at the 2?
So obviously ESPN has Jefferson. I have CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
And like I said, they have him at, I don't even know where they have him. They got 3. I think CeeDee, he missed 2 games last year.
He played hurt all season with the shoulder.
Yeah, I think CeeDee,
and he still pushed through it. So he's
a really good receiver.
Dak was out.
Yep. So
he averaged 15.6 fantasy points per game. He had 1,094 yards over the season, and he had 6 touchdowns. And that's with Dak taking a hit and being out.
I said only 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, but Dak missed 6. After he played the first 7, and then he got clobbered.
He could easily pick up touchdowns, right? He could easily get more touchdowns. I think he easily get more yards. He had 101 receptions, which is pretty impressive, honestly, for the situation. I think Lamb.
I take him over Jefferson.
Yeah, I think you have to.
You
right?
have to.
I mean, it's
because Dak's proven.
Even if McCarthy lights the world on fire and Jefferson is playing really good,
and Jerry Jones is slinging all the tongue,
there's just more security. I feel like in drafting Lamb. Like, it's just like, I know I have a good guy. Now I say this, but is it 3 years ago I think I drafted him, and I tried to trade him after week 1 because he played bad. I tend to try to trade people way too early.
Yeah, you trade him right off the first day, and everybody's like,
as soon as they make me mad, as soon as my first week I put up like 92 points, I want to trade my entire team. But I think there's just there's a bunch of security there.
Right.
I mean, they got Pickens, which Pickens is a head case, so I don't know if it's going to hurt or help.
That ain't going to hurt him.
I think
it's going to open up more opportunity for him, if you ask me.
So that's the chance there. Yep. So
obviously, we can both say at the 1, we both got Jamar Chase.
Yeah, you can't
not.
You can't not. I mean, the contract, this, that. I mean,
Joe's a slinger.
Yeah, I mean, he
had 1,700 yards,
Yeah,
17 touchdowns. It's
yeah.
just it's
A touchdown
sickening.
a game.
It's sickening.
127 receptions,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
sickening.
12 more than St. Brown. I mean, the guy was
On lights out, on fire. Joe was on fire. The team per se wasn't so much on
Now,
fire.
granted-
but I thought they would have won that playoff game. They're walking it.
T obviously missed 5 games, so he might lose a little bit, but he can afford to lose a little bit and still be the number one.
Yeah,
receiver.
because Joe's throwing like a machine.
Yeah, I don't even. It's people.
I mean, he averaged 16.3 fantasy points per game, and he averaged 26% targets per route.
Yeah, the guys.
So I mean, he's getting targeted a quarter of the time he's running a route. So I mean, that's high.
Yeah, no, he's. I don't know. I think everywhere I've seen he's won. You can't argue him out of the one position.
No.
So
Nope.
I don't think you. And I think you got to take him one and just hope it works out. I mean,
Which
I
I think
don't
it
know
will.
why it wouldn't. Again, I think,
right.
I don't know what Joe Burrow threw for last year, but Joe Burrow is going to probably throw for even more yards this year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think you're just going to see
He's got something to prove now. He's pissed.
You're going to see a massive amount of passing because they went offensive focused. With paying the receivers and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they're just going to try to outscore people. So
And
I think
let's
they're going to
see if they can do it.
We're going to try to put up high 30s, 35 points every game, and we're just going to try to outscore people, and that's fine. So, yeah, no, I think, I mean, like I said,
Let's take Jamar at the 1.
Yeah, Jamar at the 1.
You ain't gonna regret it.
Unless somebody gets hurt, either Jamar or Burrow. I don't think, and even if I don't even know who the backup is. Yeah. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, even if he gets hurt, I mean, he's still probably going to be okay.
Yep.
But I mean, I think
You gotta take him.
you just hope everybody stays healthy, which again he did last year.
That goes for anything.
Burrow did. I mean, Burrow stayed healthy pretty much besides the thumb injury and it was just kind of a freak accident. So, I think you got him at the 1. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for listening
Yep.
to our episode of the Night Shifters podcast.
Yep.
We're going to be bringing you the Dynasty
10 through 1.
10 through 1.
Yeah, which there's going to be some arguments, I'm sure, on that one.
Yeah, well, he's out to lunch, obviously. So we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to the Night Shifters podcast. If you enjoyed, please give us a like and we will see you in the next episode.